Yes guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are going to be talking about my Mark 7 Golf R. Many of you probably don't even know that I've got a Mark 7 Golf R because I don't post about it. I haven't used it in about a year, and yeah, it's just been sat here making the unit look a mess, if I'm being completely honest. And today I just thought, you know what, the car is in my way, I need to get it up and running and back on the road. So that's what we're going to do in this video, hopefully. So stick around for the journey, and let's get straight into it. So yeah, like I said, not many of you will know about this car. Like I said, I don't post on my social media that much. If you watched one of my YouTube videos where I was walking around and talking about my projects, you will have seen that car then, and I will have explained in more detail what's going on with it and why it is the way it is. So yeah, if you want to go and watch that, you can, or just stick around for this video and I'll explain all of that in about 2 minutes. So basically, I bought this Mark 7 Golf R of a chap called Dave7R, I think it is, on Instagram. This car holds some sort of records. It used to be well, I'll tell you what, actually, before we get into that, you would have seen by the thumbnail anyway. So yeah, this car's got it's got an RS3 engine in it. It's got the Dazzler engine in it. And it actually holds some sort of records for being the fastest Mark 7, I think, at Santa Pod. I don't know the details. I'll ask Dave and I'll try and post them in this video. But it's actually been featured in a few magazines as well, which I've actually got. So let me just go and show you them. So this is what the car used to look like before I got my hands on it. So yeah, as you can see, it's just an ordinary Mark 7 Golf R, apart from the drag wheels, of course. Not too sure where in the magazine it is, but oh, there it is. So yeah, there you go. I'm not too, like I said, I'm not too sure what records it's set, and actually this is only one stage of the car development. Previously, just before I bought it, it actually had a fully forged engine in it. It had a big turbo in it, and a lot more goodies. But now it has got a stock Mark 7. Why do I keep saying Mark 7? It's got a stock RS3 engine in it. So yeah, anyway, let's just go to the car. So here it is, and like I said, it doesn't look anything like that anymore, and I'll get a bit into why it doesn't look like that anymore. But it was the RS3 engine that it came with. Now, I must stress, I did actually buy this car running. It was absolutely running fine. It was road legal, MOT'd. In that picture I just showed you, it had no interior, but it did come with a full interior, even though it hasn't got one at the moment. Again, I'll get into why that is a little bit later. So the only things that I've done, apart from strip the front end down, remove the boot and half the engine, is I've put some Oz Ultra Ligera wheels on it, and I've put a set of Bilstein coilovers on it because it came on some other coilovers that were pretty much just useful for drags, and I wanted more of a... this car's going to be used for street, no drags or anything like that. So let me get into why the front end has been stripped down. So a very, very, very long story short, I'm not really a fan of the look of the Mark 7 Golf R. You know what, I wouldn't say I'm not a fan of it. I think there's just too many around. That just like every Tom, Dick and Harry's got a Mark 7 Golf R. Whether you're old, young, black, white, whatever it may be, there's just a Mark 7 Golf R everywhere. I personally prefer the Club Sport look, so the GTI Club Sport Edition 40. I had one of those for quite a while, absolutely loved the thing, and I thought to myself, you know what, the best combination that could ever be done on this platform is the Mark 7 Golf R chassis, so it's 4-wheel drive, the GTI Club Sport looks, including the interior, front end, rear end, everything basically looking like a GTI Club Sport. And then engine wise, the best thing that I think could have been done for it is the RS3 engine, which this has got. So yeah, absolutely insane combination. That was my plan, and I actually pretty much did do that, but ended up taking a load of parts off, and yeah, again, long story. So anyway, that's my goal. That's what I wanted to do, and that's what we're about to do in this video. Finish the look off. Previously, I had put the interior in. I've now sold it because it was like a £4,000 interior that was just sat around doing nothing, and I thought, you know what, I could do with the money, so I sold the seats. And I never ever touched the rear end. I've now got a rear bumper, and I've got an idea on my head for it. I've got a GTI Club Sport front bumper, which I actually took off a Mark 7 Golf R that I had. Some of you might know the car. It was Harry Main's Mark 7 Golf R, which came with a Club Sport bumper when I bought it. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to take that off, put the Mark 7 Golf R bumper on that, and then I've got myself a GTI Club Sport front bumper. So that's what I did, got it painted, and it's in front of me over there. So in today's video, I want to get this car up and running again, get as much as I can done. This is going to take me a few weeks, but obviously for you guys, it's pretty much going to be in this video. So like I said, just stick around and we'll get straight into it. All right, so you're probably thinking, yeah, that explains why the body kit is the way it is, or the body panels are not on and stuff like that. But why is the engine looking like this? Now, it isn't broken. It absolutely works fine. It looks like this for an absolutely stupid reason. So this car came with some sort of aftermarket filter, air filter, which went along there, and it had an open cone, and it was great. It looked amazing. Nothing really wrong with it. But I wanted to fit this. I wanted to fit this inventory air intake stage 3 one, just because it looks absolutely insane, and I wanted to go for like an OEM plus look under the engine bay, and this engine bay previously didn't look like that. It had a different intake on it, like a massive intake, which was used when obviously Dave was dragging the car and he left it on, and the same for the air filter and stuff like that. It just didn't look nice. I didn't like it, and I wanted to go for an OEM look. So I thought, no problem, I'll take the other intake off and I'll fit this, which I did, and then came across a problem. And that problem was that this intake manifold that was on there previously was in the way. It was a huge thing. I'll put a picture up if I've still got one. Obviously removing that is probably a bit of a backward step, but like I said, I'm not really looking to do anything insane with this car. It's fast enough. Might go stage 3 someday, I don't know. I might even get rid of it, I don't know. But for now, the car is quick enough and I'm happy with stock stuff. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I've got a stock intake there. We're going to be fitting that. And the reason why it's been left like this, when it just takes 5 minutes to fit that, is because this has got, again, some more upgrades to it. So look at the size of this front mount intercooler. Absolutely huge. Now, again, this was part of the drag setup. I, again, would prefer to have it looking OEM. So I want to fit the aircon. I want a slimmer front mount. Obviously, I want to get rid of all this. You know, I won't call it a bodge job, but it's not factory, is it? So I want it looking factory. And I have been watching Humble Mechanics YouTube video where he's just converted a Mark 7 Golf R into an RS3 engine, and he used all of the OEM stuff, and he got the OEM aircon working, everything. So that's what I want to be doing moving forward. But however, that's going to be a long process. We're not going to be doing all that in this video. So in this video, we're literally just going to be fitting that intake. I'm hopefully going to get the car off to fabrication and get a... Oh yeah, I didn't even finish what I was saying. Sorry, I've skipped a little bit. Right, yeah, so because it's got that front mount intercooler, it had some custom pipe work going to the other intake manifold, which meant when I put the OEM intake manifold onto it, that pipe work no longer worked and wouldn't go to the front mount. So I needed to have a bit of pipe work made, nothing crazy, but I needed to have some fabrication work done to it. And I actually sent the car off to a fabricator to carry out that work, as well as make me a new exhaust as well, because like I said, I was going for that GTI look, so I wanted a GTI looking exhaust made. So off it went, and long story short, it sat there for a long time and nothing got done. Nothing bad, but I ended up getting the car back, and the car's just sat here since and hasn't driven or been started since. Obviously, I can't start it with the intake manifold off. However, I had a bit of a brainwave the other day, and I thought, you know what, I can put the intake manifold on, and as long as obviously I've got the throttle body on and I'm not trying to take it out on the road, then it will start and it will drive, and I can move it. Because right now it's just on these trolleys, which are rubbish. These are actually some, I won't mention the brand, but they're not good. I can't even move the car. I've got another set of these from another company, and they're brilliant, but they're all battered. So I thought, I'll go and buy some new ones, put the car on that, and at least I can push the car around. I cannot push this car around. The car has been sat here in the middle of my unit for months, and it's doing my head in. So that's why today I am adamant to get this started and moving. So I think I'm just waffling on. What I need to do next is clean up all the old gasket you can see on here. I've got a new gasket, I've got new bolts as well. On the intake manifold that I've got, has got a Turbo Smart dump valve on it, which unfortunately is broken. You can see there's meant to be a wire there, but it's missing. So I've got a stock one. which was given to me. Thank you to Lisa from Awesome who donated that to me. So we're going to fit that one and use a stock one, and then yeah, fit it, and then we should be able to fire it up and get it moving. So first thing I want to do is get rid of all this old gasket. It looks like a gasket's been put on and some sealant, so there's loads of sealant around it. So yeah, I just want to get all this off, so I'm going to attempt to do that right now. If you're wondering why all this paper, not paper, but all these bits of cloth are in here, it's because obviously I don't want anything to go down the intake holes and then have a really, really bad engine. So I'm just going to block those up a bit more so I can see a little bit more and crack on. So I've cleaned that up as best as I can. Yeah, that was a pain. That was probably about 3 minutes for you, but it was about an hour and a half for me. But anyway, it's all cleaned up. New gasket from Audi, new bolts from Audi. Time to put the inlet manifold on. I've given that a little clean up as well. So yeah, let's get it bolted on. In fact, I'm going to change that dump valve before I do that because it looks like it's going to be hard to get to otherwise. And there we go, finally, intake manifold is on, plugged all the plugs in, hopefully I've got them the right way around. There's a few bolts here that I need to sort out, they're in the car, so I'll get those fitted for the core packs and stuff like that. I had to remove all that because I upgraded the turbo Albert as well to the inventory one. So it's a much bigger one, but yeah, we're making progress. The OEM dump valve is on now as well, blow off, yes, dump valve isn't it? And yeah, we're moving along in the right direction. So that's everything plugged in as far as I'm aware. I forgot to fit this little pipe here, but I fit it now. I am missing a little Jubilee clip, so I'm just recording this as a reminder to myself, in fact. So yeah, I think everything's clipped in as it should be. I've tightened everything back up. I can't see any plugs that are not plugged in. Yeah, so yeah, again, so I think what I'm going to do with this pipe, not right now, maybe in this video hopefully, but I'm literally going to order just the OEM one and get the intercooler reduced at this end maybe. Like I said, in the future I am going to change all of this. I'm going to get a OEM fitting aftermarket front mount intercooler, whether it's going to be one that sits where the Mark 7 one should, which is in here, or whether it's going to be an RS3 one that sits in the front. I'm not too sure yet, but it's definitely going to be OEM fitment and not, so I can get away with this. Remove all of this, sorry, not get away with it, but remove all of this, and I'll probably end up replacing all of this as well because I can see this all being cut out. And yeah, I want to make it as tidy as I can. It's a really nice car. This is only a one owner car. That Dave has owned this car from brand new, so it's a one owner car. It's only done 30,000 miles or something like that, so it's worth just trying to, you know, I know it's been molested and all that now, but yeah, it's definitely worth trying to make it as nice as possible. So now that everything's plugged in and the inlet manifold's on, I should actually be able to start this car up now. And I haven't heard this car for ages. I do remember it sounding absolutely amazing. So yeah, I think we're gonna try and start it up. I need to put a jump pack on it. And yeah, Fingers crossed, it starts. Look at that, 35,000 miles. So yeah, it's running all right. To be fair, I wasn't really worried about it. There wasn't really any reason for it not to start okay. It was just a case of making sure that I'd put everything back in the right place. There's no real point in me fitting this because I'm going to need to get access down here. In fact, I might be able to still, let's have a look. Yeah, maybe I will fit it. I can still get down there as well. Right, let's get this fitted. So I wasn't actually going to put this front piece on, but I had to put it on to get this bit to line up. As you can see down there, or might be able to see down there, there's a little bit of adjustment, so you can get it to line up properly. It's a bit of a strange thing, if I'm being completely honest, because this is held on by the two bolts here, which this is an RS3 one, by the way, and it bolts up to the Mark 7 slam panel, so that's good. It's a bit loose at the minute, and this section bolts up here, and that is it. That bolts onto this side here. And that is it really. These two are not connected. Like you can see that gap there. Like all that adjustment you're meant to have is to try and get that to line up correctly. I'll try and find a picture on Google or something and I'll put it up here. But that's meant to be like really close up to it, but not connected. Be interesting to see. Obviously you're gonna have a lot of engine movement, rocking back and forth. Obviously I'm guessing that's what that sponge is for, but I've still got a bit of adjustment to do. Apparently in the instructions it says you need to mess around here and then tighten it up at the correct point for you, because every car is going to be a little bit different, I guess, because the engine mounts are going to be slightly to the left, slightly to the right, I don't know. But anyway, you can kind of gather why, or maybe hopefully you can see why I wanted to get this fitted now. It looks absolutely beautiful. Not a cheap bit of kit. I think it's around the £1,800 mark, something like that. And then it's an extra £500 or £600 for this elbow bit. But yeah, it looks insane. With the engine cover on as well, I've got a bit of a special engine cover to put on. Not an inventory one, but a nice one nonetheless. And I've got a bit of a special bit to put on here, but we'll do that at the end. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. I've already got ahead of myself by putting this section on. So I'm going to get that removed. I think the next thing I'd like to do is get the boot put on. I've been looking at this view for the best part of a year now, and yeah, it's annoying. So I've got a Club Sport, genuine Club Sport boot that I found on, I think it was either Marketplace or eBay, really cheap because it was damaged. It had someone had tried to take the spoiler off. In fact, let me show you. So here's the boot. Yeah, so someone had tried to remove this previously, because a lot of people like to put these on the Golf R or the GTI or whatever it may be. If you try and buy this spoiler alone from VW, it's in around the £2,000 to £3,000 mark. It's an absolute joke. And then you need a different boot to be able to fit it as well. So yeah, someone had tried to remove this in the past and it was damaged. I can't remember, oh yeah, sorry, it was a corner piece. It was either here or here. It might have even been both of the pieces. But as you can see, I've had it repaired now. I've had it painted in the correct colour because it was I'm not too sure what the other white is, but it was like a pearly white. But it's now been painted to colour match my Golf R. So yeah, let's get this fitted. Right, we've got the Club Sport boot on, looking really, really good. I'm smiling because I can't wait to get this back on the road. I just remembered how much I loved it, and I really, really do miss my Club Sport, which I got rid of. I raffled it. Yeah, I do miss that car. I just missed the look of it, if I'm being completely honest. It drove amazing, it was fun. I took it to the Nürburgring, took it to a few other track days, and it was really, really fun. But that 4-pot sound just isn't doing it for me, especially when I'm coming from a background of VR6s and stuff like that. So this 2.5 cylinder engine is it's one of the best sounding modern engines, I think, personally, in a hot hatch anyway. Obviously, you've got your Ferraris and Lambos and stuff like that, but yeah, I think the engine is amazing. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, looking like a Club Sport, driving like an RS3 or whatever platform car, sounding like an RS3, sorry. So yeah, anyway, what we're going to do next, obviously the boot needs aligning up. Ignore that, you can see all the gaps and stuff. I need to align it up, but I'm going to need 2 people to do that. As you probably saw me struggle with the boot, so yeah, I need 2 people on the job for that. What else? I think I'm going to give it a clean out inside. There's loads of rubbish in there, and then yeah, anyway, next clip. Right, okay, a few months have actually passed since me doing all of that work that you've just seen. Apart from moving the car from in the middle of my unit to the ramp, not much has gone on really, but I do have to say a massive thank you to the previous owner, Dave. He has sent me out a stock intercooler pipe. So as I mentioned, I was going to send it off for fabrication, but it was just too much hassle to do that, and it was unnecessary to do so. So let me show you what I've done instead. So as you already know, stock intake is on, and I've now got the stock intake pipe. So that runs all the way down there. It's a rubber silicone pipe there, and then it's a plastic section down there, which you probably can't see. You might be able to see it a bit better through there. But anyway, you have to just trust me. That's how it works. Silicone pipe there from the throttle body, reduces slightly to this plastic thing, and then it comes running down here and goes into the intercooler. Now obviously this intercooler is not stock, it isn't the stock sizes, so what I had to do was replace the stock pipe from that plastic thing to the intercooler for this silicone one, which obviously it goes from this size to a much larger size. Now they never actually had the size that I needed, so I had to get the size just a few millimeters down from the one I needed and force it over the edge of the intercooler. But we got there in the end. I scratched my hands up and all sorts, but we are pretty much ready to go in terms of all the pipe work now. There's a few bits I need to do still. There's some random hoses coming off here which don't go to anywhere anymore, one side and then that side, so I need to figure out what size that thread is and get them blanked off. But for now I'm just going to bung that up and bung that up as well, which I think that's what was done to it already anyway. I also need to get a blank for this. It's got a forge spacer plate on it, which I'm guessing is for if you want to fit like a boost gauge or something. I don't know, it came on the intake when I got it, so I need to blank that off as well. But as you can see, I've just bodged it up for now, which will be fine. I don't think that's under any immense pressure, but I will get that sorted. And with it being easy to access there, it's not really going to be a big problem for the future. So with all that done now, I think I can, after nearly a year, probably even more than a year, I don't know the exact dates, but it's been a very, very long time. I think I can get the front end on. That means getting the headlights on and getting that Club Sport front bumper on. I have actually got GTI headlights, a GTI grille, and obviously a GTI Club Sport front bumper. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing for that for 2 reasons. One, I get some space back because that bumper's been taking up a little bit of space in the back, and I get to see the front of this car for the first time in ages. I've got so many cars around me that are just in parts, and I'm starting to slowly get them all put back together, so I'm really, really happy. Anyway, just talking, I'm waffling, let's get the front end on. Right, we've got the front end on, the car is looking spot on. Just wanted to show you a couple of things underneath the car. I have run into a few issues, nothing major, but just some stuff that I'm gonna have to change and some stuff that I'm gonna have to buy. But I'm gonna have to buy them to change them. Anyway, I'll just show you. So one of the first things is the under tray does not fit anymore. I'm assuming they are different between the Golf R and GTI. So you can literally just see where that should be a bit more over here, so I'm gonna have to change that under tray. But apart from that, underneath, nothing really to worry about. In fact, let me show you underneath the car while I'm here, because this is actually all RS3 subframe. Even the exhaust system's got an aftermarket downpipe, and then it's got the RS exhaust. If we go all the way back to here, the resonator's in there still, and like I said, it's got the RS Sport exhaust. It has been modified. I think it's been shortened so that it fits with the Golf R bumper. I'm going to be changing that, of course, but we'll get into that a little bit later, or maybe in another video. H&R roll bars front and back, RS3 rear diff, drive shafts, rear beam, all that stuff. So yeah, it's been done properly. It has been done properly. Another thing which I don't think you're going to be able to see, but I think there's some sort of extension missing here that goes from the bumper to the arch liner, because the arch liner doesn't bolt up to the bumper like it should do. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there's a big gap that runs alongside there. So the first one does up and the one underneath does up, but the others don't. So yeah, I'm gonna have to sort that out. But yeah, how good does that look now? Now, I know a few people are probably thinking you've put a GTI bumper on a Golf R, but this is my dream setup. Like I said, Club Sport, body styling, RS3 engine on the Mark 7 4Motion platform. I think what I'm going to do now is get the engine bay tidied up, get this cover on, get the engine cover on, and fit this section as well. And then I'm going to take it outside and get a proper look at it. Might even give it a clean, I don't know. Still hasn't got any seats, and we're not going to address that in this video. We're going to leave that to the next video. So yeah, let's crack on with the engine bay and then we'll go from there. Yes, I think the engine bay is complete. Apart from needing a bit of a clean up, look at that now. That looks 10 times better with the engine cover on. Wow. Obviously you got the red from the RS, all tying up with the red from the GTI. We've got the carbon intake on, obviously. We've got a carbon insert here. Engine cover, we've got a carbon one, and we've got a carbon cover on the fuse box as well. I think that's a good mixture of carbon, not too much, just enough to make it look bang on. I also managed to get the intake lined up a lot better. That is pretty much as perfect as it's going to get, and all I needed to do was move it up. So there's two holes here, and I literally just moved it to this one instead of this one, and it's lining up perfect now. That is literally how it looks on the picture I posted a little bit earlier. So yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing with that. I can't even lie. I've got a big smile on my face. It looks as I imagined it in my head. I need to put a few more bolts in for the headlights because they weren't lining up for some reason. I think I've put the wrong ones in the wrong place, so I need to sort them out. But yeah, I think I'm just going to end the video there. It's gone on for quite a while now. The car is, I'd say, 75% complete. I need to source some seats. I think I'm just going to go for some stock GTI seats at the moment, just to get the car out on the road, get it MOT'd. Like I said, I've got some plans for the rear. I'm going to make that look like a GTI as well, so we need to get a new exhaust made. We're going to change the side skirts as well, interior. We're going to do so much. So listen, if you've enjoyed it, subscribe, hit that like button. Make sure you go and check up Level Up giveaways as well if you want to win some cash and some cars. But yeah, until next time, guys, see you later. Bye bye.